Good morning. Welcome to Simply Jan Homestead. I have been craving some flatbread crackers. And as you know, prices just keep going up and up and up. And it's so much cheaper and easier just to make your own, to be honest with you. So, I'm going to show you how today. Recipe is going to have 1.5 cup flours. I have to read my ingredients. 2 teaspoons of any herb of your choice. I put thyme and basil in mine. And I'm going to add a little bit of garlic salt. A little. 1 teaspoon of pepper. 1 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of sugar. 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 1/2 cup of cold water. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get your food processor. Let me get you down here. And we're going to pulse all the ingredients that I've already put in here into the food processor. That locks up, and then you have a pulse, and you're just gonna hit your pulse. Have the lid on right. I don't know what it is with me and lids. Nope. Come on, lid. If your lid's not on, it won't work. So we're gonna pulse that. And we're just gonna mix it all up, right? That's the goal. Let's see. Yep, looks like it's all mixed up. And I think at this point, I'm going to go ahead and add my garlic salt. And just a 1/2 teaspoon is what I'm putting in there. Because I'm going to sprinkle some of this on top of my dough. Because it's so good. And it gives it an extra saltiness. So let's get that mixed up. All right, now, easy peasy. You're just gonna pour your water, 1/2 cup, in here. And we're gonna mix that up until it forms a sticky dough. See how it looks. Beautiful. Oh, it smells so good, y'all. It just smells so good. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna form this into a ball. Get all your dough out. Looks like it could have blended up a little better, but we can fix that ourselves. We're just gonna mix that up a little bit. Get those herbs distributed. And then, and it's sticky. I'm telling you, it's sticky. We're gonna take this ball and we're gonna cut it into 4 sections. So, let's get that done. I want all the dough. I don't like to waste anything. I'm just sort of weird that way. Okay, let's get this down here. Okay, there's our ball. And what we want to do is just, let's cut that into 4 sections. And we're just gonna let that rest, let's see, for 10 minutes. And I'm just gonna form them into a ball. Didn't really say to do that, but I'm gonna. Okay. We're gonna let those rest for 10 minutes. They need a nap. We'll be back. So I don't remember if I said it. You want to have your oven preheated to 450 degrees. Have a cookie sheet and parchment paper ready to go, because we're gonna lay these out on the parchment paper. Now here's the cool thing about flatbread crackers. You can roll it out super flat and leave it super flat and then just break the pieces, or you can cut them into cracker squares, whatever shape, rectangles, triangles, squares, it doesn't matter. The sky's the limit. It's so cool. Okay, our 10 minutes are up and I am rolling this out into a very thin layer. It doesn't call for flour, but I'm using some flour because it just seems to keep it from sticking so badly to the roller. So that's how I'm doing it. You know how I feel. You do it your way, and whatever works for you works for you. It is not going to ruin the recipe. So that's what you're looking for, is a super thin layer. It's very thin. And then we're gonna take this and move it to the parchment paper and the cookie sheet. Let's see, where's my little tool? Hold on. We're gonna use this. Yes, that worked perfectly. And that'll help lift it up. There we go. So there's the first one. Super thin, super thin. And I am going to take a teeny bit of garlic salt, emphasis on a teeny bit, and just sprinkle it on top of that. And now we'll move on to the second one. And you know, if you wanted to put crushed almonds in, you could do that. You could mix it in there, which would be awesome. I'm just using a little bit of flour as I roll this out. I don't want to have too much dough or flour on the dough. Just a teeny bit. I don't know what's going on there. These are light and delicious crackers to have with cheese, or you can put some of the spread on it. Oh, it's so good. All sorts of different options for it. You can even add cheese in here, which I've never done, so you'd have to look that recipe up, but you could do that. I think I'm gonna sprinkle that right now. I'm gonna pat that down so it sticks, and I mean just a little bit, because we don't want it to overwhelm it. So, and you know, it's not it doesn't make a whole ton of crackers, but it makes enough for us for a snack. And you could always, you know, double, triple, quadruple it. So now what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna show you this, and then I'll finish up the recipe, or the dough. These I'm going to cut. If I can get my tripod right. I'm gonna go ahead and cut those with a butter knife and just make some shapes, right? So that's how that one's gonna look. And like I said, you can do squares, rectangles, triangles, you know, whatever you want to do. So that's how I'm gonna do these. And they look and smell so good. And when I'm done, I'll show you what it all looks like before we stick it in the oven. Another note I wanted to add, if your flatbread sticks, because you saw like mine was sticking a little bit, let it sit more than 10 minutes. It's not gonna hurt anything. The other one I just rolled out didn't stick at all. So let it sit just a few more minutes, and that way when you roll it out, it won't stick to your pan like the first little bit did. So we've got everything ready. I've got that one just laid out flat. And what we'll do is we'll just break that up when it's finished. We're just gonna break that up. These are gonna go in the oven now for 4 to 5 minutes. If your oven cooks hot at 450 degrees, you might want to check it at 3 minutes. That's what I'm gonna do, because sometimes ours does that. So I'm gonna get these in the oven, and I'll see you when they're finished. Well, wait, there's more. After the first 4 to 5 minutes, don't let them burn, y'all. You have to check these. Keep an eye on them. They're flat and it's bread. You will turn them over and cook them on the other side for another 4 to 5 minutes. Please, please, please check them at 3 minutes though. And make sure they're not getting burnt, because you don't want all your hard work to go to waste, right? All right, we'll be back. These are going in. I just turned the flatbread over, and I just turned the crackers over 4 more minutes. That's what it took. Okay, our last 4 minutes are up. Flatbread's in there. It looks delicious. We're gonna turn the oven off. Turn it off. And we're gonna let this sit for 1 to 2 hours in here. 1 to 2 hours will help them dry out completely. And I like to let some of the initial heat come out, and then I'm gonna close the door on the oven so I have it cracked just a little bit, and because I don't want them to burn, right? So we're gonna let that little bit of that heat come out, let them sit in there for an hour, and then I'll show you what I have. Okay, our hour is up. This got a little dark, but not gonna bother me. So we're just gonna break it up. And you know, flatbread has that beautiful bump in it. I love that. But it's not that bad. It's not burned, it's just dark. And I'm glad I opened the door on the oven, or else it would have burned. So you can, you know, you can have little croutons there. You can do whatever you want with it. That's the cool thing about it. And then these are our crackers. And I tasted one, and oh my goodness, y'all. So good. Okay, here. Mmm. Yummy. Mmm. It's got the perfect hint of the thyme, and the garlic salt is just enough, not overwhelming. Oh, it's so good. Y'all try these. You won't be disappointed. Remember, keep an eye on that thyme though. And I would suggest opening up that oven door and letting that initial heat out. These were in the oven an hour, and they're perfectly dry. 2 hours, I don't know why, unless there's a lot of moisture in the air or something. But yeah, these are so good. So good. So give it a try. It's a super easy recipe, and it made a whole tray. And the boss will probably eat every bit of these tonight. I know my husband. Y'all be blessed and love well. Bye now.